Six-day funeral of Iran's Khamenei ended. There were 10 kilometers long queues of mourners. With a regime change. After a week of mourning, Iran lays Khamenei to rest in Mashhad. Iran's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was buried at the Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad after nearly a week of nationwide funeral ceremonies. Khamenei was killed in U.S. and Israeli airstrikes that marked the start of the Middle East conflict on February 28. Khamenei became only the second Iranian ruler to be buried in Mashhad, after Nader Shah in 1747. Will kill you banners in Khamenei's funeral sent shivers down Trump's spine. Iran will kill me, Trump lamented but bragged. I can eliminate the rest in one shot. Trump in news. Trump's one-shot threat. Iran slams Trump's one-shot remark on Khamenei's funeral. Trump stunned by Khamenei funeral crowds. People hated him, Trump mocks Khamenei. Iran vows vengeance. Iran hit back at Donald Trump after the U.S. president said he could have taken out the country's senior leadership all in one shot. The U.S. president referred to the large funeral gathering in Tehran and suggested the gathering presented a military opportunity. Senior Iranian leaders, along with Khamenei's three sons, appeared in public on July 5 to take part in the funeral prayers. However, the U.S. president said such a move was ruled out because diplomatic efforts were continuing. They are all there, one shot, but we are not going to do that because then we would have nobody to negotiate with, he told U.S. media outlet Axios. Saudi's Tehran surprise. MBS message leaves Trump stumped.
We created the strongest and most powerful military. We won 2 world wars, the Cold War, left America's enemies in the depths of history. We beat Venezuela in one day, and we knocked the hell out of Iran. They're dying to settle. They want to settle so badly. We gave them a week off for a funeral because we're nice. It's true. For 250 years, the entire world has looked to our country and been inspired by the leaps of progress, feats of strength, and acts of selflessness, faith, and hope that could only have happened right here.
Thirteen countries skip or downgraded participation in Khamenei funeral due to U.S. pressure, says report. Iranian media claimed that at least 13 countries either withdrew from the event or downgraded their representation following a U.S. diplomatic campaign, though the allegations have not been independently verified. The report alleged that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio issued confidential instructions to American embassies and diplomatic missions on June 26, directing diplomats to use all available means to discourage host governments from attending the ceremony. It further claimed that participation in the funeral would be viewed as an unfriendly act that could negatively affect bilateral ties with Washington. The United States reportedly launched a diplomatic campaign to discourage countries from attending the funeral ceremonies of former Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran, according to Iranian media. The report claimed the effort led at least 13 countries to either withdraw from the event or send lower-level delegations. According to Iran's Tasnim news agency, citing a senior source, Washington intensified diplomatic efforts in the days leading up to the funeral to reduce foreign participation. Alleged pressure on foreign governments. Citing two unnamed Arab diplomats, the report alleged that U.S. ambassadors in several African countries warned that attending the funeral could result in reductions to American development assistance. It also claimed Rubio personally raised the issue with his counterparts in at least 5 Arab countries. According to the report, at least 13 countries, including 3 from Eastern Europe, 5 from Africa, 2 Persian Gulf Arab states and 2 major East Asian nations, either cancelled their participation or downgraded the level of their representation following the alleged U.S. pressure.
Samadana Bhed Danda has to be. So Danda always comes last. Chanakya specifies, there are 2 sutras where he says, second sutra he says, first is Sama. If it doesn't work, then Dana. If it doesn't work, then Bheda. If it doesn't work, then final Danda. So on Danda also, war also to establish peace. You know, the reason for war has to be to establish peace, not to defeat or kill or finish off the other one in that sense. If someone is not behaving, then just to bring in peace, war has to be used.
Like, ceasefire is over but US-Iran talks continue. US bombed Iran and Iran bombed Bahrain and Kuwait in retaliation. Italy's PM, Meloni, bravely declared that Italy won't join military action against Iran. Iranian officials privately told the US that attacks on 3 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz were a mistake carried out by rogue hardliners, allegedly undermining ongoing nuclear negotiations. While Washington disputed the explanation, the Trump administration agreed to continue diplomatic talks. Oman is set to host fresh negotiations, even as both sides warn of consequences for further escalation, and key disputes over Iran's nuclear program and maritime security remain unresolved.
Trump posts meme targeting Meloni. Donald Trump reignited tensions with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni by sharing a meme implying she was obsessed with him. The image, posted on Truth Social, carried the caption, "Restraining order needed," and showed Meloni looking toward Trump. The post came just ahead of the NATO summit in Turkey, where both leaders are expected to attend.
President Trump reignited his feud with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on Sunday night, this time seemingly implying the Italian leader is obsessed with him. On Truth Social, Trump posted a picture from the recent G7 conference of Meloni looking up at him and smiling, with the caption, "Restraining order needed." Trump's post was part of a long series from the president on July 4th, as he posted 100 times on Truth Social within 8 hours. Despite Meloni having once been a supporter of Trump, relations soared after the president suggested she was desperate to be photographed with him during the G7 summit in France, which she denied.
Meloni pushed back. Earlier, Meloni had rejected Trump's claims, calling them completely made up and denying Italy ever begged the US. She defended Italy's sovereignty and said US-based agreements could not be changed unilaterally. Trump also posted other controversial images on Sunday, including altered visuals of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama.
Conversion at the highest level.
US Second Lady Usha Vance has broken her silence on why she has chosen to remain a Hindu. Earlier, her husband, US Vice President J.D. Vance, had expressed hope that she may one day convert to Christianity. Sharing insights on their interfaith marriage, in a recent interview, Usha Vance said she grew up in a stable Hindu household and never felt the same need to seek a different faith that shaped her husband's spiritual journey. Revealing why the church worked for him, she said J.D. Vance found stability through faith and organized religion. Usha's comments come after J.D. Vance previously said he hoped his wife might one day be moved by the Christian faith in the same way that he was.
US America turns 250, the land of the free, home of the anxious.
You are watching Sanglikars Weekly.
Like, Andy Burnham is set to become PM of Britain. How long will he last?
Andy Burnham moving one step closer to Downing Street today as the official nomination period opens for candidates seeking to succeed the outgoing British Prime Minister Keir Starmer as leader of the Labour Party. So far, the former mayor of Greater Manchester, currently the only MP to have announced his intention to run, and if no one else enters the race by July the 15th, he will be declared the winner and would then be formally elected leader of the Labour Party and therefore automatically become Prime Minister on July the 17th before moving into Downing Street, possibly on the 20th.
Like, blasts greeted Macron in Damascus. Why visit Syria? He now has to deal with Le Pen.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. عم صور قام صار انفجار ثاني.
Like, wildfires in southern Spain have killed many.
Some of the most devastating wildfires on record ravaging southern Spain, with firefighters struggling to contain them. Flames tearing through wooded areas as hundreds race to escape, while many remain missing. Among the dead are 4 people found trapped in a car. Health officials believe they were British citizens. Other foreigners, they said, were also killed trying to escape. They think the fire may have started when a power cable came loose and fell on a patch of dry land. So far, more than 140,000 acres have burnt, making up 40% of all the area burnt in the European Union. This comes after an early summer record-breaking heat wave left large parts of the country parched, triggering an early start to wildfire season.
Like, Prince Harry lost his privacy suit against Daily Mail. Difficult task.
Court has dismissed a lawsuit launched by Prince Harry and several other high-profile figures against the Daily Mail. They accuse the publisher of using illegal tactics to invade their privacy to gather stories on them.
A UK judge ruling against Prince Harry in a lawsuit accusing the publisher behind the Daily Mail of targeting him with unlawful information gathering. The Duke of Sussex, alongside several other celebrities, accused the company of phone hacking and intruding into his private life. The decision is a setback for the royal, who previously won other legal battles against British tabloids.
Like, Brazilian journalist claimed that Mossad had planned to kill Pakistan's Field Marshal Munir in Switzerland. Pakistan rubbished the claim. Pakistan is right. Who will kill a harmless creature?
A dramatic claim involving Pakistan, Israel and high-level diplomacy has sparked a heated debate. This comes after a Brazilian journalist has alleged that Israel's intelligence agency, Mossad, planned to target Pakistan's army chief, Field Marshal Asim Munir, during diplomatic talks in Switzerland. According to the claim, Pakistan responded with a strong warning to Israel. However, the allegation has been firmly rejected by several Pakistani journalists and commentators who have described it as completely without evidence. The claim originated during a podcast featuring Brazilian journalist and geopolitical commentator Pepe Escobar. During the discussion, Escobar alleged that Pakistani military intelligence received what he called highly credible information, indicating that Mossad was preparing an assassination attempt against Asim Munir. Escobar claimed the alleged plot was linked to diplomatic engagements in Geneva, where Pakistani representatives were participating in talks related to efforts to reduce tensions between the US and Iran. According to him, the alleged threat may have extended beyond Munir and could have included other members of the Pakistani delegation.
You are watching Sanglikars Weekly. Microsoft swings the axe, 4,800 fired. Microsoft has laid off around 4,800 employees, or 2.1% of its global workforce. The main cuts are across its commercial sales business and Xbox division. The company said the cuts are to align with long-term priorities and not being driven by AI. Nearly 1,600 of the job cuts are in Xbox, with the gaming division planning to eliminate another 3,200 roles during the fiscal year. 4 Xbox studios will transition to new ownership, while the French studio of Arcane has begun consultations over its future. Microsoft is flattening Xbox's management structure and has indicated that more organizational changes are likely across other parts of the company.
Amir Khan and Gauri Sprat exchanged vows in a simple registered marriage at his Pali Hill home in Mumbai. The ceremony was attended only by close family members and friends, in line with the couple's wish to keep the celebration private.
As my local wife. As my local husband.
Like, Salman Rushdie said in London that we need to gird up loins and fight for freedom of press in USA. Any comments?
Well, I think it's a difficult time in many parts of the world. I live in America, and I never thought that there would be such an assault on free speech coming from the authorities in the land of the First Amendment. So there's a big struggle there. I think I have to say that there's quite a good fight back. For instance, all these books being banned from libraries, there's a lot of challenges to those, and in many cases the challenges are successful. So it's not one-way traffic, but it is definitely a battle that we didn't expect to have to fight.
Is Salman Rushdie's controversial book, The Satanic Verses, now legal in India? Well, after 36 years of being technically banned, the novel can now be imported in India. In 1988, India was the first country to ban the import of the book under the Rajiv Gandhi government for law and order reasons. So why the change of heart now? The reason is some missing paperwork. That's right, the Delhi High Court has found that the customs notification banning the book is now untraceable. Since the notification could not be produced, the court has no other option but to believe that it doesn't exist. In other words, nothing is prohibiting anyone from importing the book in India now. Does that mean that the book would be available in stores in India soon? Well, yes and no. It could take Rushdie's publisher Penguin Random House some time for that to be made possible. But people could still buy it from international booksellers online.
A New York Times notable book of the year, Knife. Meditations After an Attempted Murder by Salman Rushdie is also available. Enjoy. Like, Indian origin Trinidadian author Jamal Nazir won the Commonwealth Short Story Prize for Serpent in the Grove. Poor man is trolled saying the story is an AI product.
Imagine spending years writing literature and then losing to a story people think was written in 30 seconds by AI. That's the controversy exploding around the prestigious Commonwealth Foundation Short Story Prize. A story called The Serpent in the Grove by Jamal Nazir won the Caribbean Regional Award, but the internet immediately accused it of being AI generated. Critics pointed out weird patterns, too many dramatic metaphors, repetitive sentence structures, that classic AI style phrase, not this but that. And then an AI detector claimed the story was 100% AI generated. Even famous AI expert Ethan Mollick publicly called it a Turing test of sorts. Following this, The award organizers and Granta investigated the allegations, but surprisingly, they still could not conclusively determine whether AI was used. We have now entered an era where humans write like AI and AI writes like humans. So how do we prove a human actually wrote something? Because if even top literary judges cannot tell the difference anymore, what happens to journalism, research papers, exams, or even books in the future?
Neymar announces retirement from international football after Brazil crash out of World Cup 2026. Neymar announced his international retirement after World Cup exit to Norway, saying now it's over, as his long chase for the trophy ended in pain.
Neymar stands slowly in the center of the pitch, the bright stadium lights reflecting the tears in his eyes. The massive crowd falls completely silent as the Brazilian captain raises a microphone to speak. It is a deeply heartbreaking moment after a shocking defeat to Norway, officially ending Brazil's journey in the 2026 World Cup. It is very hard to find the right words today, Neymar begins, his voice shaking with emotion. We came here with one big dream, to bring the trophy back to Brazil. We gave absolutely everything we had on the grass today. But sometimes, football is cruel. Norway played a fantastic game, and we must accept that our time in this tournament is over. To all the fans here and everyone watching at home, I am deeply sorry we could not give you the victory you deserve. He pauses, wiping a tear from his cheek, and looks up at the sea of yellow shirts in the stands. Wearing this jersey has been the greatest honor of my life, but every beautiful story has an ending. Thank you for always believing in me, through all the highs and lows. Thank you for your endless support. I will always love this team. Goodbye, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Ronaldo's World Cup dream ends in tears.
Portugal's 2026 FIFA World Cup dream came to a heartbreaking end after a 1-0 defeat to Spain in the round of 16. The match remained deadlocked for almost 90 minutes as both sides created chances, but neither could find the breakthrough. Then, in stoppage time, super sub Mikel Merino scored the winner in the 90-plus first minute. The defeat marks Cristiano Ronaldo's final FIFA World Cup appearance, bringing an incredible international World Cup career to an emotional close.
Spain knock out Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup journey ended as Portugal lost 1-0 to Spain after Mikel Merino's stoppage time winner in Texas. The 41-year-old left the pitch in tears, applauded supporters, and admitted he was saddened to end his final World Cup this way. Ronaldo confirmed it was his last World Cup but said he would decide on his international future after spending time with family. Ronaldo ended his World Cup career with 27 appearances and 11 goals, becoming the only player to score in 6 editions. Despite winning multiple major honors with Portugal, including Euro 2016 and 2 Nations League titles, the World Cup eluded him. Portugal coach Roberto Martinez hailed Ronaldo as a football icon and praised both his achievements and character during the tournament.
Like in sports, Jannik Sinner easily eliminated 39-year-old Djokovic in straight sets in the Wimbledon semi-finals. End of Djokovic era.
First, I want to congratulate Sinner for playing a great match, a great tournament so far. He's deservedly in the finals. He outplayed me completely today. I was, in a way, shocked with my level, you know, in a bad way. I mean, not much I was doing right in the first 2 sets. Yeah, I guess this is one of the worst Grand Slam matches I've ever played, at least that I remember. So, yeah, you know, not a very pleasant feeling playing this way. But at the same time, you know, credit to him for doing everything better than me, you know, in every aspect of the game.
Like, I admire the guts of Belgian football team. At the risk of getting bombed, Belgian football team defeated USA 4-1.
A phone call from US President Donald Trump to FIFA's president has led to a red card reversal which had been given to a Team USA player. United States forward Folarin Balogun faced a 1-match suspension for standing on another player's ankle during a match against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Following Trump's intervention asking FIFA to review the red card, the AS Monaco player will be able to take part in the next match against Belgium.
Thank you, FIFA, for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice.
Balogun is his team's top scorer in this competition so far with 3 goals. His coach and teammates also welcomed the reversal.
Just having him as a presence out there, he does so much. He runs off the ball. He always gives an option. He's constantly a threat in behind and to score. And obviously, as a team, it's really helpful.
FIFA said the automatic match suspension for the striker is suspended for a probationary period of 1 year. This move is not unprecedented in this World Cup. Before the start of the tournament, Portugal star Cristiano Ronaldo faced a 3-match suspension. Instead, he sat 1 match with the other 2 suspended and converted to a 1-year probation period. The Royal Belgian Football Association is astonished.
I believe that what the Belgian Football Association is doing is not merely defending itself and pointing out that this is, of course, illogical and unfair. It is defending the interests of football in general and safeguarding the future of the sport's ethics and integrity.
The United States match with Belgium takes place on Monday in Seattle. The winner advances to the quarter-finals. The US has not reached that stage since 2002.
The United States FIFA World Cup campaign has come to a crushing end after Belgium stormed to a 4-1 victory, but the fallout has quickly expanded beyond football into politics, diplomacy, and social media. The defeat has triggered a fresh wave of controversy after Iran appeared to take a veiled swipe at US President Donald Trump. An Iranian Football Federation spokesperson reacted to the American exit by declaring that the world was celebrating politics' humiliating defeat by football, remarks widely interpreted as criticism of both political influence and the tournament's controversies. Adding to the drama, Belgium's players celebrated with a viral dance before the country's football federation posted the message. Overturn this on social media, an apparent reference to FIFA's decision to overturn Folarin Balogun's automatic 1-match suspension ahead of the knockout clash. Iran mocked the United States after its FIFA World Cup campaign ended with a 4-1 defeat to Belgium in the round of 16. In a statement, an Iran Football Federation spokesperson said, "Now the whole world is dancing to celebrate politics' humiliating defeat by football," while the national team's official Instagram account shared Belgium's victory with the caption, "Dance with me." The reaction came after the US, co-hosting the tournament, was knocked out despite FIFA overturning Folarin Balogun's suspension following an appeal backed by President Donald Trump.
Football is supposed to be decided by the players who play the sport, the coaches, and of course, yes, the referees. Not by the President of the United States, isn't it? But that's exactly what this World Cup has been talking about. Donald Trump asked Gianni Infantino to review a red card. FIFA did. Now, FIFA maintained that Trump did not influence the decision, but the story became much harder to defend, especially when Trump himself had to confirm it last night. All of this set up the game perfectly, and Belgium responded in the best way possible. They humbled the full strength America's squad in front of their home crowd. In probably the most one-sided game of the knockout so far, the European side struck 4 times, sending USA packing in front of their stadium. And naturally, social media went berserk. Memes flooded the internet and fans mocked Donald Trump. But the buck doesn't just stop with Trump. What the red card controversy has done is it has put FIFA under the scanner. FIFA relationship with Europe is already looking rocky. The questions have already started. Now, whether FIFA likes it or not, the debate is only just starting, because the next time a controversial call such as this is made, every team and every federation will believe that this can be reversed. They will ask the same question: if one red card could be reopened, why not mine? And that, my friends, is how you open a can of worms and spread lawlessness.
And finally, after losing the World Cup match to France, Celeste Amarilla, Senator, Paraguay, insulted Mbappé, calling him SOB. "You have no idea who I am," she said. Any guess who she is?
¿Pero qué carajo sabe de mí, Mbappé? Pero ni sabe dónde está Paraguay. Todavía está buscando en el mapa. Claro que fui agraviada. Y con suficiente motivo como para hacerle una querella a Mbappé. Ahora, a la FF le digo, que se contrate un abogado. Ellos no tienen legitimación activa para demandarme, para querellarme a mí. Ellos no tienen, cuando hablé de la FF, cuando hablé de Francia, ellos no tienen ninguna legitimación. Yo no le debo disculpas a Paraguay, yo esto hice por Paraguay. Mal o bien, esto hice por Paraguay.
France striker Kylian Mbappe hit back at a Paraguayan senator after she posted a series of racist statements on social media. Following France's 1-0 victory that eliminated Paraguay from the World Cup, Senator Celeste Amarilla described Mbappe as a, quote, colonized Cameroonian desperately trying to pass himself off as French, and as a brute who had not learned to write. Mbappe responded calling her a despicable woman who is unworthy of her position in leadership. French President Emmanuel Macron showed his support against racism. The French Football Federation said it plans to file a criminal complaint, calling Amarilla's remarks utterly abhorrent. In a statement, the Paraguayan government said it deplores and rejects the statements made by Amarilla, saying they are contrary to the values and principles that inspire peaceful coexistence and respect for human dignity that our country promotes.
Lazy Bee. The 11th of July, 2026.
Sir, why are you carrying a chicken into a cabinet meeting?
Because sometimes a chicken understands politics better than people do. Watch closely. This lesson is not about a chicken.
Sir, what are you doing? Stop hurting the poor animal.
Be patient. The lesson has only begun.
This is cruel. Let it go.
Sometimes pain teaches what words cannot.
The poor thing is fighting with everything it has.
Because it still remembers the pain. I can't watch this anymore. This is cruelty. The poor creature has almost no feathers left.
Keep watching.
How can you remain so calm while it suffers?
Because the lesson is not finished yet.
Look at it. It can barely walk.
Watch carefully. Haven't you done enough already?
Grains? Why are you giving it food now?
Because the lesson begins now.
No, it can't be. After everything that happened, it's going back.
Clock!
It was fighting to escape just moments ago. Why would it trust him again?
Clack!
This is unbelievable. It has already forgotten the pain.
The same person who caused its suffering is now its comfort.
Now do you understand? What does this even mean?
Cluck.
After everything that happened, why is it still beside you?
It was terrified of you just moments ago.
I don't understand this. That's exactly the point. Watch the chicken carefully. A few moments ago, it was running from me. Now it sits beside me. All it took was a handful of grains. People are just like this. You take everything from them. You make them suffer. You leave them with pain, disappointment, and broken promises. Then, when the time comes, you give them a few grains, a little relief, a little hope, a few gifts. Suddenly, they forget every injustice. Suddenly, they forget the suffering. They forget the pain. They forget every injustice.
That's the lesson.
No matter how much pain they remember, hunger can make them forget.
A nation's future is shaped by the choices its people make. Stay informed, think carefully, and never forget the lessons of the past.